welcome to the channel G17 Collectibles. Today we're going to be taking a look at a highly anticipated figure for me, the Mandalorian Heavy Infantry Mandalorian. Believe it or not, I've had this in the house since March. It's now the 21st of July and I still haven't opened it. I moved house, so between packing the old house up and moving to this new house, just not had any time to unbox any new stuff or do any videos. So I've been looking forward to this one for a while. So we're going to take him out the box, have a look at what it comes with, get him in a good pose for the display, and hopefully you'll like what you see today. So without any delay, let's get the camera angle changed, let's get an overhead shot, and let's get this one unboxed. Okay, now, don't know about you, but I absolutely love The Mandalorian. I think it's one of the best things to come out of Star Wars since the original trilogy. And this character, although he was only in the show for, 2 episodes, we've seen a couple of minutes of screen time, it is a fantastic character. And from what I'm led to believe, this could possibly be one of the best figures of the year from Hot Toys. So yeah, highly anticipated, really looking forward to getting this one on display. Let's take a look at the box. So you have the typical modern Hot Toys Star Wars box style with a lovely image of the Mandalorian, Heavy Infantry Mandalorian in the front. You have the Star Wars logo, and then you have this cardboard kind of cigar band wrapping round on the side. Lovely image of the actual figure there, and on this side just a continuation of the band. Taking the box lid off, we are then presented with a lovely image, as come to expect with these types of product packages, of the Mandalorian figure, which is a great shot. That's maybe a posing inspired option, who knows. Let's take that out and have a look at what we've got underneath. So lots going on here. You can smell that plastic coming out of the box already. Let's take the plastic away from the actual box and we'll take a look at what we've got here. So accessory tray, and underneath we've got the actual figure itself. Now that already, without even looking at anything else, looks amazing. Let's take all these parts out, let's lay them on the table and let's see what we've got. Oh boy, this is a cracking figure. So all I've done is I've literally taken all the pieces out of the box, and already just by lifting the figure out of the box, this thing is a beast. It is amazing. The paint quality, the paint application, the weight of the figure, just everything about it is chunky, everything about it just feels high quality. So let's go through all the individual components and we'll end by looking at the figure. So first off, we have the display base. It's typical Hot Toys display base, ones that I really like. Nice flat top, no imprinted feet or any texture. It is sand coloured top, not removable. Flat with the lovely silver display plaque on the front, engraved Star Wars Heavy Infantry Mandalorian. Now this is a dynamic flight stand. It probably would accept a crotch grabber if you had a spare one, but you do get this really big, long, bendable, flexible, dynamic flight stand pole, which goes in quite easily actually to there, and a nice big kind of waist grabber, so you can get some real good flight poses on the Heavy Infantry Mando. Let's move that to one side. I've also got here the Mando's jetpack. Let's take a closer look at the Mando's jetpack. The colour, the paint application and the weathering. The weathering is something I think Hot Toys do relatively well, but it's always, in my view, very subtle. They don't go the full hog and properly weather things. But this looks properly weathered. It doesn't look subtle at all. It looks worn. It looks really nice. and you can see the detail on that is fantastic. Look, you can just see the various paint layers. It's almost as if I'm expecting to run my finger on that and feel a paint kind of indentation where the paint's actually rubbed off, and it's not, it's completely flat. That is a masterpiece in itself. And going along with that, you have these two clear yellow and amber tinted, what looks like, you know, blast, jetpack blast effects. So these, I believe, are just going to plug into the bottom of the jetpack there. Nice tight press fit. Just twist them as you're putting them in, and there we go. That's pretty nice. Yeah, I like that. I like that a lot. But typically in my collection, I don't really do anything other than museum poses. That's what I like to do. That's how I like to display my stuff. But this one might just have to have some sort of in-flight dynamic pose. Let's see where we get to. So that's the jetpack. Really impressed with that one. That is nice. We also get this bayonet type knife, vibro knife. That's pretty nice. Look at the detail on that. Hopefully the camera is focusing on that nicely. Again, the detail is pretty superb. You can see that on the handle. I'll just turn that around. The handle again has some really nice weathering on it. So I'm pretty impressed with that as well. Quite flimsy. You can see it's just made of plastic. So do take care with that piece. But yeah, impressed with that one as well. We need to work out where that goes. And then hand-wise, 6 hands. There's already 2 on the figure. Open palm hands with the blue armour piece on the back of the hand. We appear to have 4 hands with the blue armour piece, but 2 with the brown armour plate backing on the back of the glove. So let's go through the brown ones first. Weathered again, you can see that armour plating has got some scuffs, some chips, some weather damage, and that is a fist hand. We have the same, that's a left hand, the fist hand. This is a left hand as well, and it has again the brown armour plating weathered on the rear. This seems to be almost like a pistol grip, kind of gun holding hand. We then have a couple of rights. And I've just worked out on the figure, you've got a brown armour plating on the left and a blue armour plating on the right. So that makes perfect sense of why we've got these colours. On the right, we have got a blue fist armour plate hand, nicely weathered. We have a right blue armour plating pistol grip gun holding hand. We have another right blue plate armour, kind of like trigger finger hand. And this one is the salute hand. That's pretty good. I'm really pleased they included that. Now you'll also notice, if I turn this one over, because it's clearer to see, they have sculpted the kind of crinkles and different variations in the leather glove. It's not just flat. You can see there's some texture there, there's some leather texture, and you've got all these really, really, really nicely thought out, really well done kind of wrinkles in the glove. Now that's fantastic. On to the heavy infantry machine gun blaster rifle. This thing is monstrous. So you have this obviously attaches to the backpack, and you have this huge big tri-barrel hand cannon. That's the best way I can describe it. I believe this turns. I get a fright there, I thought I broke it. That is the kind of left hand grip to hold the blaster up, and then you have this rear holding hand there. Nice little strap. Strap just feels to me as if it's well made, but it's kind of pleather material. But again, detail on this one, the weathering, I mean, it's massive. It's almost the height of some of the Hot Toys figures I have. See the bluing on the end of the barrels there. And then you have this kind of flexible spine, which will go up and connect. Yep. there you can get that into quite a good shape, and it's holding its shape rather well. Between each one of these hard plastic pieces, you can almost see the detail of some kind of flexible pipe, ridged pipe. I was curious as to how this would work, but you can see it's quite easy to bend and take a shape. So that's good. That's fantastic. Looking forward to using that, although I think it's going to be a bit difficult, but we'll see. And then the figure, let's move that off to the side. The figure, I mean, the weight of it already, this is quite possibly one of the heaviest Hot Toys figures I have held or owned. It's an absolute beast of a figure. So top to bottom, helmet, it's there's no portrait obviously with this one, all you're getting is a helmet. That is absolutely amazingly weathered. Good range of motion, tilt up, tilt down all around. Nice little fabric undersuit there. The arms have nice shoulder pauldron armour, elbow armour. Let's have a look at that. Elbow plates, nice gauntlets. Let's see if I can range of motion. Yep, ratcheted shoulder joints. I can hear that's velcroed. You can hear as I'm twisting that, the velcro starting to kind of change shape. You can feel a bit of a muscle under there. That is one thick arm. Yeah, that's about as high as you're going to really get that without breaking something. The elbow ratcheted as well. So yeah, you probably can get that salute pose quite easily. Let's try and get that back down. Other arm, I'd imagine same range of motion, Mandalorian symbol. This one has a yellow pauldron underplate. Really nice pipe, fabric pipe connected to this gauntlet, which is obviously some sort of flamethrower attachment. Belt, hard plastic sculpted pouches, wraps all the way around. Thigh armour, really nice. Knee armour, works independently of the leg. Shin armour, which is nice. Good range of motion there. You can see this part's got a bit of flex to it, so you can get the boot up and down. Yeah, that is nice. Let's have a closer look at that. So we'll start with the head and work our way down. Really nice. Tread. I mean, just look at the weathering on that. Look at the level of detail the Hot Toys have went to weather this figure up. It is absolutely phenomenal. Yep, very, very impressed. So all that's left now is to work out, put this guy together. Let's work out how to pose him. Museum, dynamic, who knows. But overall, this is a fantastic release by Hot Toys. So let's change the camera angle, let's get him on the stand and let's see what we can do. Okay, so roughly assembled, and I'm not going to lie, parts of that were pretty straightforward and easy, but that gun is so bloody massive that it does cause some issues. And I'm already thinking, I don't know if I want the gun in his hands at all. Just trying to get the angles correct for this hand and this hand, it was proven to be a bit challenging, and his right hand kept popping off the peg. So yeah, well, it's not even posed yet. I've just tried to put it together. On the rear, the backpack went on super sweet. There's a catch at the top. You catch it in, press it in, and there's two wee kind of pegs that catch the bottom of the jetpack. Nice and easy. We also have nice and easy fitment, just a push fit of the flexible kind of pipe here into the back of the jetpack. So that was pretty straightforward. Posability, I've literally just not done really much with them at the moment, just had them standing straight up and down. he's relatively quite stable. I mean, he's a heavy guy. At one point he fell over and I managed to catch him, but yeah, I think we're going to have to use the dynamic stand no matter which way we frame it, just in case he decides to take a tumble. But you can see there, he's relatively quite stable. So, as I said, trying to pose this gun and get the angles of the hand and the elbow right, I think is going to be fairly challenging. I have an idea for a pose and it incorporates the salute hand. I'd like him in a museum pose, just literally saluting, and that's what I'm going to try and achieve. But before I do that, I would like to see if I can get him in flight. I don't know if my shelves behind me can accommodate a very high flight pose, but let's try and get him on the stand. Let's try and get him raised up, get this right leg bent, and we'll see where we go from there. Okay, so a bit tricky, but nothing too taxing. Managed to get him up. He's now off the ground by, in ratio scale, about a foot and a half. The dynamic stand was proven to be tricky to clamp this round his body and navigate the pole round the jetpack, etc, etc. So this is what I've done now. You can see there's a bit of a bend on this pole. This is just to balance out the weight, to be honest with you, just to get him kind of like, but you know what? He's fairly steady on there, and already I'm thinking, holy Moses, that is going to make quite a bit of a display. Not sorted the gun yet, ignore that, but if my shelf will accommodate the height of this guy, I am definitely fancying putting him up in the air rather than a museum pose. But before I do that, before I decide on a flight pose, I want to get this gun on the backpack and I want to try that stand and salute pose. So let's give that a wee try. Okay, so here we have the pose I had in mind. It's literally just standing up straight, saluting with his right hand. And yeah, I don't think it looks too bad, but it doesn't look anywhere near as awesome as I had in my head. And now that I've seen what the figure can look like being off the ground, that's definitely the direction that I'm going to go in. Now, putting the heavy infantry blaster on the backpack, just a couple of pegs here that just slot on. I'm not liking this strap just waving and flapping around. I may have to do something with tucking that around the gun at some point. The flexible cable here is working out quite well. He actually managed to get a good range of motion and a bend in that elbow to get that hand up to his brow, which I was quite pleased about. There's some good mechanics in the way the armour separates, so we've been able to do that. That looks okay. As a museum pose goes, it's fine, but we can do better. Okay, so combining the two, salute pose as well as some kind of flight, raise them off the ground by again about a foot. Still have this same saluting hand. I have attached the blaster effects, the jetpack blast effects, and I have pointed this foot down to the left and raised his right leg up with a bend. I'm happier with that. I think as the figure goes, we can do a lot better, but I'm happy with that rather than just standing. I do have the space for him to do that in the shelving, so that's good. But what else can we do? Let's have a look. Okay, so slowly but surely I'm getting somewhere with this beast. So got him up, got him on the flight stand. We've managed to get the blaster in some kind of position, which I'm happy with to a degree. I've got legs in the same position, toes pointing down. He is bending slightly backwards, so let's try and fix that. It's looking not too bad. It's probably getting closer to where I think it could be. I've just noticed we've got a hand grip on the side of the gun here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull this hand up to here, rather than, because this is a pain in the arse. Excuse my French. It's a real pain to try and get this hand looking good whilst holding this back handle. So I think maybe if we try and get round to here, it might look a bit better. So let's give that a try. Right, so I managed to get it to a certain degree. This is not an easy figure to pose. There's too many things working against each other. But it's a lot of fun. So effectively and essentially, I've managed to get him in a kind of rudimentary flight pose that works for me. It's perhaps not the absolutely smash bang pose that I thought I was going to get, and I'll continue to work on him, but this is kind of where I wanted to be with it. The hand position on the blaster is causing me some stress. I've managed to get the strap fixed now. I've bent the legs in a different way. Originally, I kind of just thought he'd just taken off. Now I'm thinking he's more in the air, perhaps looking down. So yeah, it's there or thereabouts. The flight stand's quite sturdy, it's quite stable. Having that flexible arm allows you to keep manoeuvring the figure around. He is an absolute beast though, absolute beast of a figure. I've put a bit of a crunch in the torso, kind of bent the figure like that slightly, put the shoulders forward. I really do like the side profile. I'm just not convinced about the legs yet. If you're actually in flight, I like to make my poses look as realistic as possible, but that's the kind of pose I'm going with now. I'll probably fiddle with it over the next few days, but yeah, I think we're almost there. Let me just take the camera off now and we'll do a bit of a close-up on the detail before we wrap this video up. So let's take a bit of a closer look in detail on this piece. It's absolutely phenomenal. It is one of Hot Toys' best yet. The accuracy, the paint application, the cut and sew undersuit, just everything about it is absolute quality. I'm very impressed. I'm very pleased with this one. I'm so glad I got it. As I said, I've had this in the house since March, so it's been a long awaited figure to be opened. I finally managed to do it, and I have not been disappointed. It's a cracking figure, it really is. And a great character from a great show. I think The Mandalorian is something that us Star Wars fans, us older generation fans really needed. I like all Star Wars. I was brought up on the original trilogy. I was born in the 70s, so it just goes to show you how old I am. And I've enjoyed all of Star Wars, you know. The prequels, Rogue One, fantastic. The Clone Wars, I'm not mad about the latest sequels, but they're okay. But The Mandalorian, wow. So there you are. Absolute beast of a figure. Definitely, if you are a fan, pick one up. Don't delay. If you can find one, get one. You will not regret it. If you have liked what you've seen me do today, please give me a thumbs up. It gives me all sorts of encouragement to keep doing these videos. I am a relatively new channel, and I know there's lots of other channels out there. But you know, there's some videos up there, Hot Toys collection. So if you like what you see, go and check out some of the other videos that I've already got up. There's going to be a new weekly video, hopefully looking at all this collection that I've amassed, plus the £10,000 worth of pre-orders I've currently got. But yeah, if you want to see new content, you want to see me review stuff, you want to see me chat about stuff and talk endlessly and aimlessly on all these different things, hit the subscribe button. Then you can get to see more content, more videos. But for now, thank you very much for checking this video out. This has been the Hot Toys Heavy Infantry Mandalorian. All the best and do take care.